Hi, it's Cindy at Soulprint. Sorry about that. Um, it's Cindy at Soulprint. It is Friday, March 8th. So it has been quite the week in US politics. A couple of surprises. So I thought, I have some questions. Perhaps you do too. So welcome. And let's get started and see if I can get some answers that kind of make sense. So the first thing I want to talk about or kind of zone in on or tune into is Trump. How's he doing? Cohen kind of telling stories. Now they're fighting about whether or not a pardon was extended or offered. He has Manafort who's holding strong, so he's not telling on Trump. So just kind of wanting to know how Trump's doing right now. What's going on in his world? What's going on in his mind? What's occupying him? So let's take a look. Okay, so Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, United States. Okay, so we have the page of cuts. So that's talking about, he is perceiving, he is thinking that he's actually hearing good news. He thinks that the Manafort situation just is good. It's good for him. It makes him look innocent. Had nothing to do with him. So he's pleased with that. Now we've got the high priestess here. So this talks about two things. It talks about secrets, things that are hidden, and it also talks about sort of a balance, literally, between good and bad, good and evil. So I feel like these are forces that he's really not kind of paying attention to that could be very much coming in his direction. And here we have the world. So the world card really does represent an end of a cycle. The world is watching Trump. Most of the world isn't particularly impressed with what they see. And this cycle that he is in is and will come to an end. I absolutely do not believe that he will run in 2020. I think that he will, if he doesn't leave office before then, which I personally suspect he will, he will not throw his hat into the ring kind of for election time. I think by then the writing's going to be on the wall and he's not going to want to face that kind of a defeat. Okay. He very much wants to, he loves the adoration. He loves all the attention on him. He thinks that that's like wonderful. What he doesn't understand is that he really has made a kind of a deal with the devil. He is just on a basic fundamental level a corrupt person who has virtually no human feelings. He is completely motivated by what he wants, what serves his purpose, and that's it. That's what he knows. Anybody who is expecting more from this man is just destined to be disappointed because it's not in him. It's not. He wants attention and adoration and he wants to be adored, and that's really all he knows, and that's really all that motivates him, that and money. Yeah, he has a decision, coming up. I suspect that it could be about the election. I actually think it's probably something a little bit sooner than that. You're going to see him making decisions, frankly, that don't make a lot of sense. You're going to see some more erratic behavior from him as he feels like his hands are tied, he's getting attacked. He doesn't like the investigations that are going on. He can't seem to get people to toe the line and do what he wants. And so he's frustrated. And he is going to become more erratic. If you thought that the performance at CPAC was interesting, I suspect we are in for a little bit more of that kind of performance. And there we have the death card. So again, you have, you know, 3 cards here that are basically talking about sort of bad endings. You've got the world, you've got death, and you've got the devil. And so clearly he's in a tough spot here. But make no mistake, this is a spot of absolutely his own making. He did this, and he did it to himself. And, you know, this is the thing about Trump, okay? He got away with it all of his life. So there was no reason for him to actually think he wouldn't continue to get away with it. It was as simple as that. People bought his stories. People believed what he was saying. And even if they didn't believe it, they didn't correct him. They didn't say, no, that's not right. They just let him carry on. And he figured out pretty soon that, you know, he could pretty much say whatever he wanted or do whatever he wanted. And no one was going to correct him or stop him. So that's all he knows. And because that's all he knows, he really did not expect, he was not prepared for the kind of pushback that he got and is going to continue to get. He really does not know, you know, how to cope with it. The image that comes to mind is literally a young child who has never been, you know, Mummy has never told the child no, and the child goes to visit grandma and grandma says no. And this child is just completely bewildered, does not know what to do with himself because people don't say no. And that's exactly the energy of Trump. So I want to move on and see how Manafort's doing. It's quite the sweetheart deal he got yesterday. And of course, according to that judge, he lives a blameless life. So that's kind of interesting. Let's just see what the story is on him right now. So Paul Manafort. Paul Manafort. What's going on with Paul Manafort these days? He got that really nice sweetheart deal yesterday. He has another sentencing hearing coming up next week. Somehow, I don't think that one's going to be quite as smooth. Let's take a look. Big worries. Big worries. We've got the 9 of Swords here. So this is about, you know, truth. It's about deception. It's about lies. It's about worry. He is worried. He's scared. And he doesn't really know how this is going to end. He knows how he would like it to end, but he doesn't know how it's going to end. He is worried. He is scared. And that's where he's at right now. And now he has the 5 of Swords. So again, you're talking about, you know, there might be actually some discussion with his lawyers. He might not be pleased about, you know, kind of some of the advice he's getting. I think that overall he's very pleased. But I think on some level, you know, he maybe feels like, you know, they should have warned him to be a little bit more apologetic, be a little bit softer, you know, in that statement he made yesterday. But of course, he had his own reasons for not doing that, because he was going to be very determined to sort of, even though he pled guilty, he was kind of determined to just not admit guilt. It's kind of a strange situation. But this is a man with a lot of swords coming at him, so it's not good. And the Tower. So, poor Manafort. He's in for a really rough, bumpy next little while. It's not going to go well for him. He is worried. He is stressed. The foundation he built is completely crumbling. Everything has fallen down. And there isn't going to be a whole lot that can be salvaged or picked up. And the Death card. So, it's not good. You know, it's not good. Paul Manafort has lived this life. He was completely motivated by money and literally nothing but money. And now there is a price to pay for that. So, there we go, Paul Manafort. I also want to check in on Cohen. How's Cohen doing? He has, for right now anyways, finished the big testifying, you know, in front of the committees and that. So I can suspect that he is continuing to work with a few other agencies. So let's see, how's Cohen doing? Is he pleased with how the last week or so has gone? Does he feel like he's in better shape now than he was before? Let's just take a look. Okay, so he's very worried about money. He's worried about sort of securing his future, trying to keep his family safe. That is absolutely a concern and a worry of his. You know, there's been a certain lifestyle for a long time, and when you have to make a significant change in the lifestyle you have, it is stressful and difficult and confusing. And so there is a lot of concern and worry about money right now. And again, he is also worried. He is, though, more scared for his family. He is scared that, you know, they may be targeted, that things are going to be difficult for them. He's in a hard place. But we have the Nine of Cups here. So what that's telling me is that in the end, ultimately, he's going to end up in a better place than he thinks he will, and he's going to end up in a better place than maybe we expect him to. There is a turnaround coming for him. There is happiness coming from him, for him, you know, down the road. Let's just put one more card and see if there's any more information. Yeah, it's justice. You know, he kind of realizes that he made his choices, and these are the choices that he now is paying for and living with, and it's just kind of as simple as that. Next, I want to check in on this Mueller report. You know, I have long said that the Mueller report might just be a little anticlimactic, and part of the reason for that is that Mueller has done a really good job laying out the story so far in his talking indictments. And there's some confusion about whether or not, you know, Trump can actually get charged with anything because of that, you know, DOJ policy. So let's just take a look at the Mueller report, and we'll take a look at Mueller, and we're going to put those together in this question. So Mueller and the Mueller report, how are they doing? What's going on there? What can we be told? Let's just take a look at Mueller. Okay, so Mueller's doing well. He's pleased. He's got the 10 of Cups. Things have fallen into place for him. He feels like the end is near. He feels like kind of the weight is going to be lifted off of his shoulders. He can rest. He can maybe go on vacation. He can just put this behind him. It has been difficult and grueling, and he really, really does want a break from it. We've got celebrating. So when that report comes out, it looks as if people are going to be celebrating. They're going to be happy. That report is going to say enough that people will be well pleased. And this is the majority of people. This is not about his little 33 or 35% base. This is about what the bulk of American people wish to find out, discover, and understand. I think that this thing might be released, you know, in the next short while. There's still some work to do. There's still some fine tuning to do. And it's going to be interesting to see kind of what Bill Barr does with this thing. You know, how much he kind of keeps back, how much he releases. It's going to be released a little slower than people would like. I mean, frankly, everybody wants it released yesterday. And that's not happening. But it's going to get released. And as a result of that, there's going to be some really interesting insights that come for the American people about their president and what's going on. And it's going to, when that starts, it's going to be quick. There's going to be new information coming out very, very rapidly. He is going to be in an emotional whirlwind. He's almost not going to, Trump I'm talking about, is almost not going to be able to process everything that's coming at him. He's just not going to know how to spin it. He's not going to know how to make it work. Okay, so I have one more question. I consider it the most important question. I would like to know, Spirit, what I can tell the American people. What I can tell them about what's going on right now and what they can expect in the near future. Just keep it kind of limited to that. What is going on now and what can they expect in the near future? Well, the American people have strength, and they're going to be strong through this. They're going to get through it. One of the things that they're going to do is literally tame the beast. And the beast, in this case, is corruption. It is disregard for humanity. It is almost an attitude of, you know, we will tell you, we, the government, will tell you, we will do what we need to do and you will accept it. And the American people are saying, you know what, it's time you guys remembered that we hire you and we can fire you. So there's going to be a lot of good, strong strength that comes from this. And America, I think, is going to be a better place as a result of it. When this comes down, a lot of people are going to get shaken. A lot of people are going to be concerned. And there is worry that, you know, there might be some unrest. There might be this, there might be that. It's not going to quite be that dramatic. It's going to, I think more than anything, it's going to just unnerve people how incredibly corrupt and how far-reaching this whole situation has been. It's been a tough one, all right. You know, this is interesting. I've been doing cards for a lot of years, and I cannot quickly bring to mind the last time I asked a series of questions and got so many high Arcadian sort of negative cards, the Tower, the Devil, Death. It's definitely an indicator. The sun's going to shine, people. There's going to be clarity. The sun is going to, you're going to shine a light on this stuff, and it is going to start a healing process. So that is really, really good news. It's like as if you have been able to sort of push back fairly quickly on some of the corruption, some of the it's just disregard. It's just not even common decency that has been going on and has been allowed to go on. I think the American people have learned that, you know what, it is time to push back. If we want something, you need to let your representatives know and push them forward, because they won't. You are going to leave this place of difficulty, and you're moving into a more peaceful time, a more tranquil time, and a time, frankly, of lessons Well learned. So I'm hoping that that is helpful to anybody who has happened on this channel. I'm hoping that you enjoyed it. It's, you know, it's the beginning of March. I think the month of March is going to be a really interesting month. It's going to have some really intense energies. There's going to be kind of a lot of chaos, but you'll get through it. You will get through it, and there will be a end that will be successful. So for now, I thank you so much for coming and finding my little Soul Print channel. Please like and subscribe, and I will look forward to seeing you again in a few days. Take care. Bye-bye.